Okay, for now we have a workflow that is able to analyze a user input, decide if we have a hardware or a software problem, and if the user is talking about something unrelated, it will use an LLM chain component to ask the user for clarification. But still we have to decide what to do with the hardware and software related requests. And you probably might think, well, these workflow things can get very complicated and big, and that is true. So let's create a new one and call it hardware. And when we click on the plus sign here, we can select a so-called trigger. In the other workflow, the trigger was the user chat interface. But down below here, we have something that is called when called by another workflow. So let's use this one. Let's provide an information here will be called from the workflow that identifies a hardware problem. Now let's add an edit fields component here. Save the workflow. I want to test it. Both components are green. Let's go back to the main workflow. Click on the plus sign. Type in workflow. Call another workflow. And now we can pick this one from the list. Now let's test the step. It was executed successfully. Now it says inspect sub execution 151. And we see that it was actually successful. So we have triggered the hardware workflow successfully from this one. Now let's try my cherry keyboard has a broken enter key. The workflow is running. The other workflow should be executed. Here is the execution that we can open now. And when we double click on this node, we see that the description has been passed to the other workflow. This value is named response to chat input. By the way, you can switch between executions and the editor here. The difference is that the executions part is showing the last values for the last executions. And you need to pick the editor part to actually change something. Now let's click on edit fields. Now I could click on the last execution and click on copy to editor. But this is only available on the enterprise plan. Well, I can see that I have passed values here, but actually I'm not able to use them in the editor. And that is where webhooks come in handy. But for now, I think you get that we can use one workflow to trigger the other one so that the workflows can be separated for each of the situations that we need to handle.